Hello Poke Friendos. I just wanted to make a video showing off my 5 different water decks. So I'm not going to do battles for each one, I'm just going to show you them in the deck manager. I just wanted to show off my decks, see if so you can copy them if you want. This is my main Blastoise deck. It's the main deck I use. It might be my best deck because, well, you'll see in here in a minute. If the game would respond. Got my Pepsi. As you can see, I got my I'll just do this. As you can see, I got my 4 Vaporeon GX for healing and damage. Hydrating drops. Once during your turn before you attack, you may heal 30 damage from your active water Pokemon, which is really good for any kind of healing deck, and any deck really. I love Vaporeon GX, he's one of my favorite Pokemon cards. Hydro Pump does 30 damage times the number of water energy attached to him. So he does 40, 30, with 3 water energy, he does 130 damage. And yeah, you can keep stacking that. And his Cure Shower GX attack ability, Pure Heart, prevents all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX, which is really good because everyone uses GX and EX because they're better. And with his regular attack, Sonic Edge, he can actually attack other Keldeo GXs, or say Alolan Ninetales with the ability that blocks the same type of damage, because its attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So it can get through Fairy Charm with ease. And his GX attack is pretty good, does 50 damage for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So if they have 5 benched Pokemon, that's 250 damage, which is really good. But my main strategy is getting my baby Blastoise, because once during your turn with Powerful Squall, once during your turn before you attack, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any number of water energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. I use that for the ability to put energy on Vaporeon, maybe Keldeo if I don't have enough, but mostly for Blastoise GX, which is probably my all-time favorite card, because it takes 30 less damage this way. So I basically use baby Blastoise to put water energy on my Pokemon, and then I use Blastoise GX to do tons and tons of damage, can take out pretty much anything in one hit. And with the giant Geyser GX, if I have extra water energy in my hand, I can put it onto my Pokemon in any way I like, which is good for Blastoise GX. Now I run 2 dive balls, 2 Pokemon fan clubs, 2 Evo sodas, mostly to get War Turtle, 2 rare candies just in case I have Squirtle and Blastoise but not War Turtle. I run 4 Switch Rafts. Switch your active water Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. If you do, heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. This is a heal deck. All my water decks are heal decks. So I also got Rough Seas. Once during your turn, that player may heal 30 damage from his water or electric Pokemon. I got 4 Pokemon Center ladies. And I run, in this deck, 2 Choice Helmets, which is good to take less damage from Pokemon GX with Pokemon and Pokemon EX. I don't need him for Keldeo, but he's good for Vaporeon and Blastoise. And I run in all my decks 20 water energy. They're all hollow. Yeah. Pretty much what I'm waiting for this deck is Piplup and Blastoise from Remix Bout. Once I get that card, this deck is going to be really good. But yeah, that's my main deck. And then we have my Greninja deck. This is the second deck I made, and it's the only deck I have that doesn't run Baby Blastoise for the Powerful Squall ability, because Greninja doesn't take that much energy to do his attacks and abilities, so I don't really need Baby Blastoise in this deck. If it would load here, I can show you. I got 2 Vaporeon GXs in here. I couldn't fit in the others. I got 2 Keldeo GX. I got 2 regular Greninjas with Water Shuriken ability. Once during a turn before you attack, you may discard a water energy from your hand. If you do, put 33 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So he can do not only 50, but potentially 80 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So that's 80 plus 60 more. That's 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 140 damage. But it can also attack benched Pokemon. Now I've got 3 Froggator. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So that helps me get damage. And Greninja GX, I have one of him. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So I like to get him on my bench when I can. And I got 3 Greninja EX because he's better than Ash Greninja EX for the sharpshooting attack. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It can hit the bench. And Aqua Blast is pretty good too. And I run 2 dive balls, 4 Evo sodas, 4 Switch Raft, 4 Pokemon Center ladies, 4 ladies to get energy for Greninja, and Greninja Break. I got 2 Pokemon Fan Club, and again 20 Water Energy. All my decks have 20 Pokemon, 20 Trainers, and 20 Energy. So that's how I roll. Now here's my Gyarados deck. This one took me a little while to get all the cards I need for it. Basically, I run 2 Vaporeon GX, 2 Keldeo GX. I've got Gyarados EX, Stormy Seas, flip a coin till you get tails for each head, search your deck for a water energy card and attach it to this Pokemon. Splash Burn does 10 damage for each of your benched Pokemon, to each of your benched Pokemon, but it does a lot of damage. And I got Mega Gyarados EX. You may do 20 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. That's pretty good. And I got Baby Blastoise again to get water energy. And I got regular Gyarados GX, which is really good because if there is a stadium card in play, Draconic Disaster does 100 more damage, so that's 200 damage. And that's pretty good. And I run 2 Dive Ball, of course, 2 Gyarados Spirit Links, 2 Evo Sodas, 4 Switch Wraths, of course, no, not Mega Gyarados, for Gyarados GX, and 20 water energy. And I got a lot of theme decks in here. This is my Wailord deck. Again, I got Baby Blastoise to get water energy, Vaporeon GX, Keldeo GX. I got Magikarp and Wailord because I just love Towering Splash GX, and Wailord is actually my favorite Pokemon. If this Pokemon has at least 7 extra water energy attached to it, this attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I have took out entire teams with this card before. The whole bench just taken out. And I run regular Wailord, which is pretty good. Dwindling Wave does 200 damage, but if this attack does 40 less damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon, which kind of sucks when you're taking damage, but if he just comes out, he can pretty much take a lot of things out. So, and I run 2 Dive Ball, 4 Evo Sodas, 4 Switch Raft, 2 Rough Seas, 4 Pokemon Center Ladies, 2 Pokemon Fan Club, and 2 Buff Padding, which is good for Magikarp and Wailord. It's not as good for regular Wailord because having more HP doesn't do much for his attack, really, because you can end up doing 0 damage. But it's good for Magikarp and Wailord. And I got 20 water energy, of course. And last but not least is my Wishy-Washy deck. I've been showing this deck off a lot in my videos lately. Of course, I got the Baby Blastoise, Vaporeon GX, 2 of them, 2 Keldeo GX, and Wishy-Washy GX. Now, the good thing about Wishy-Washy GX is Baby Wishy-Washy, because Meetup, your Wishy-Washy GX in play gets plus 20 HP, and their attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So, with Wishy-Washy GX, if I get 4 Baby Wishy-Washies on my deck, on my bench, Water Gun does 100 damage, and Torrential Vortex will do 120. 220, or 200, sorry. And Blue Surge GX does 220, and you get to move all energy from this Pokemon to your bench Pokemon, which is good if I have another Wishy-Washy GX on my bench, or even if I have Vaporeon GX on my bench, because it does 30 more damage times the number of water energy attached to it. And I run 2 Dive Balls, 2 Pokemon Fan Club, 2 Evo Sodas, 4 Switch Raft, and yeah, basically those are my 5 water decks that I play the most. I got a couple other decks, but like this one, that's my nephew's deck, and Fire deck I barely use, and the Psychic deck I barely use. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please shoot me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and have fun. Remember, water Pokemon rule the seas.